What is up, and wake up, warriors? I am Diane Kazer, and I've got two other amazing, lovely warriors that you can see on this video today. And we're bringing to you a really, really trendy topic. And this is one you're absolutely going to want to watch through this entire video. What we're doing today is we want to get to the heart of what you're struggling with. We get it. You're super busy. You're super in pain, and you just can't be bothered with stuff anymore. And for so many of us, we are in pain. We're affected by that daily. We have a lot of inflammation. We have sleep issues. We have mood issues. We have lady garden issues. We have, and you know, guys are watching this too, so maybe they have other garden issues. But we've got a lot of problems today in America. And I am a nutritionist. I'm a functional diagnostic nutritionist. What I have seen a lot now, and what you probably are experiencing now, if you got a pill for every ill. So you go to the doctor and you're like, Doc, I got this pain, dude. I got this pain problem. I've got this lubrication problem. I've got this problem. I can't sleep. I can't think. I can't just shit. And you're like barely surviving, and we want you to thrive. So doctor goes and says, hey, here's a pill. And then you leave and you come back and you're like, I have another problem because there's going to be a symptom associated with that pill. And you go back and say, well, I've got these symptoms now. They're going to give you another pill. Before you know it, you're on 5 to 10 medications and you still don't feel your best. So then you go over and you're like, hey, nutritionist or homeopathic doctor or naturopathic doctor, I got this problem. They run some tests on you. They see that you're low on vitamin D, B, C, or you got a thyroid issue. So they put you on like 1, 2, 5, 10 supplements. And you're like, okay, well, I'm on 5 medications and I'm 10 supplements now, and I still don't feel my best. Guys, it's getting out of hand. It's getting excessive. I see people who are taking 15 supplements and they're still not feeling their best. So what the hell is going on here? What is going on where there's a pill for every ill and the Western medicine and a pill for every ill on Eastern medicine? We can't live like this. Our budgets are getting broken, our backs are getting broken, and our relationships are suffering. 50% of marriages today end in divorce. And the main reason being because of financial problems. The main financial problems that we're having is medical issues, medical bills, unexpected medical bills. So my question to you is, how much longer can we afford to live this way? How much longer can you afford to live this way? Afford in the time, in the aspects of time, money, and energy. We can't keep doing this. So I want to, with my other two sister warriors here today, talk to you guys about the root of the problem that is not been talked about for, I think it's almost been 100 years now, that's been hidden from us. It's been pulled away from us. And we're going to talk to you about how this problem will be resolved. We're going to talk about how much it's going to cost, how much energy, and how it will save your life in the long run, and the opportunity costs of not addressing these root cause issues. Because today, the number one issue that we're having, 95% of disease, is caused by inflammation. Inflammation will then cause hormonal chaos. Hormonal chaos will cause mood chaos and sleep issues and energy problems. And I just can't lose weight, or I just can't drop this inflammation, or my hair is a wreck, or my skin is falling off. Maybe not falling off, but I mean, for some of us, yeah. So we need to, instead of going to the pill for every ill, we need to get to the root cause of all of them. If we address all of the one root, then everything else can start to flourish. So without further ado, what's up, sisters? Let's introduce who you guys are. So Sheila, we'll go over to you first.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sheila Arrow, integrative nutritionist here. So I struggled with chronic urinary tract infections for pretty much my whole life. It developed into interstitial cystitis because I was on medications every single day, pretty much for months on months, prescription pill after prescription pill. What I finally got fed up with was my most recent visit to the doctor, who prescribed me a prescription for, well, when I went to CVS to get it fulfilled, it was almost $10,000. So this is when I said, threw my hands up. I said, this is enough. I can't take this anymore. No more pills, no more prescriptions, no more procedures. I discovered CBD, and CBD has changed my life. It's the only thing that has stopped my chronic UTIs, the only thing that has stopped my chronic bladder spasms. And then I started seeing other things like all right, well, my skin's starting to improve and I'm starting to get more energy and I am sleeping better at night. So we're going to speak to you about in this video today how CBD is a more holistic approach. And we'll speak a little bit later about our endocannabinoid system and how exactly CBD works with this system. So now we're going to hear from Bianca. Bianca, you want to tell your story?
Yes.
Hi. Yeah, Bianca, go.
So I am Bianca Iris. I'm also known as the Bionic Healer, and I'm a bionic because I have a prosthetic leg, and I'm the healer because I'm a Reiki master, holistic health coach, hypnotherapist. About 15 years ago, I was in a traumatic accident, and over the course of 15 years, I've had 54 surgeries. And with those surgeries, antibiotics, tons of prescription pills, 8 to 10 a day for 12 years. 3 years ago, I ended up in the hospital with toxic liver syndrome, organ damage. I was depressed, I was overweight, skin issues, everything that Diane just mentioned. And I developed an allergy to synthetic medication, so I had to turn to alternative methods to manage my chronic pain, and that's what brought me to CBD. And I've been on CBD for 3 years, and my life has completely changed like Sheila's. So we will talk to you about CBD and why we all need it and how we're deficient in these cannabinoids.
Yeah, awesome. I mean, that's crazy, you guys. I wrote this down. So for our cartoon names for today, Bianca, you're the Princess Pirate, and Sheila, you're the UTI unicorn, and I'm the and I'm the autoimmune disease angel. So
I love
it. Yeah, because I mean, ladies who are watching this, true authenticity is what we want to bring to you guys today. Like, these are our real, like, we have been through it, warriors. That's why I call us warriors. So for me, and the reason why I was brought to CBD, actually, Sheila is a client of mine, and Sheila was struggling with a lot of these issues. And I said, you know what, let's try this. And we talked about using CBD inside of our body, inside of our parts. I'm like, if CBD is taken to calm things down, to calm, any kind of seizures or Alzheimer's or spasms, I was like, why don't we just try it inside and see what happens? And we did. And whoa, it worked. And then I went, oh my gosh, there's something to this. And so I tried out, as I usually do, 5 different product companies. I test them out myself and see how I feel with them and on them. And I did that with what we're going to talk about with you guys today. My background is that I have suffered from a lot of different things myself. And so for me, it started actually with very similar to Sheila. I was like, 20 years old, and I just took Accutane. I had just taken a ton of different medications like birth control and antibiotics. And I was at that time a professional soccer player, and I could not run as far as I used to be able to. I was on the field, debilitated, curled over like this in traumatic pain. I went to the ER, went to the doctor, and they said, oh, you have a urinary tract infection. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, what do I do? And they gave me medications. Long story short, medication after medication, doctor visit after doctor visit, and they told me I need to be on antibiotics for life. And I was like, what? Antibiotics for life? That doesn't sound right. You take them for like a 10-day period when you're sick. Mm-hmm. So I'm like that sick. And then that led me down a path of what's wrong with me, why, getting to the root. I discovered that myself through my own diagnostic lab testing, because that's what I do as a functional diagnostic nutritionist, almost a naturopathic doctor. And I discovered that I had thyroid disease, I had Hashimoto's, I had antibodies, and oh my God, I was in a hell of a lot of pain. So pain, mood, I was depressed. I had a ton of inflammation, which is what was causing the pain. And so after years of this, I discovered I had over 10 diseases. No doctor was ever able to diagnose. I would have been on 10 medications plus, and even the natural doctors were not able to help me. They just told me to take, omega-3s. And I was like, what? So here we are. And I've been taking CBD myself now, rawly speaking, for 3 months. I feel a tremendous amount better. I couple CBD with hanging upside down, and that helps with my back pain. So I do a lot of like aerial silk kind of like acro yoga stuff. And it's like, oh, those two combined are amazing. So today we're going to talk about exactly how CBD acts on the body. So let me stay on agenda here. Stories, who we are, history. Oh yeah, let's go into the history now, Bianca. So our 3 stories, ladies, we're just like you. We've been through the ringer, as you heard. And so let's talk about, like, Bianca, let's talk about what people are doing and why they're doing it. And then like why CBD is the fastest growing. Like I read a statistic. in the next 3 years, there's going to be more money like invested in CBD than like movies or something like that?
Billions, over more money in the cannabis industry than the film industry combined. So one thing I like to do is kind of separate, so we have the cannabis plant, right? So everyone thinks cannabis, you think marijuana, you think THC. Well, I have an analogy. Those are my favorites. So think of the citrus family, and on one side you have lemons, on the other side you have limes. They're both in the same family. They're similar, but they're very different in color, taste, and smell. The same thing with hemp and marijuana. You have the cannabis family, you have hemp over here, marijuana over here. We are a hemp-based supplement. So CBD stands for cannabidiol. That is a compound found most prevalently in the hemp plant. So why did we stop, having this supplement? Well, in the 1930s, and one thing I like to do is America was built on hemp. Our founding fathers sailed over here with ships with hemp sails. The Constitution was written on hemp. Washington, Adams, and Jefferson were all hemp farmers. So we were a nation that, was using hemp in many, many different ways. And then what happened? The 1930s happened, tycoons happened, DuPont, Carnegie, and they basically, hemp was a threat to their industries, paper, textile, and steel. So what happened? They decided to, have a little propaganda and say, hemp was this terrible thing, just like marijuana. It made you crazy. We got to get rid of it. And how were they able to do that so quickly? Because Hearst owned the media, and as we know, fake news. There's always like false Hearst news Castle? Out there. And it was happening in the 1930s too. So, farmers were no longer growing hemp because it wasn't profitable. So the cows were no longer eating the hemp, and we were no longer eating the cows, and we were no longer feeding our systems with cannabinoids, which leads me into the problem that we now have: clinical and endogenous cannabinoid deficiency. And we have a little video on it, a quick little 3-minute video that we're going to play for you guys.
The existence of hemp can be found throughout recorded history. Food, medicine, elixir, textile. Hemp is thought by some to be the first crop domesticated by our ancestors. In ancient India, it was blended with milk and spices into a drink believed to aid digestion, relieve fever, and ease dysentery. Some thought it made the body more alert, calling it the nectar of the gods. Beginning in the mid-1800s, hemp oil was a natural part of the American pharmacopoeia, prescribed for everything from cramps to chronic seizures. After the 1930s, taxes made hemp too expensive to grow, and farmers mostly abandoned the crop. Hemp became more scarce. Cannabinoids all but disappeared from the food chain, and Americans became deficient in cannabinoids. Cannabidiol is a naturally occurring chemical compound found in plants like echinacea, flax, and of course hemp. In this form, it's referred to as a phytocannabinoid. But plants aren't the only source. Cannabinoids also exist in the human body and can even be found in breast milk. Some researchers contend they play a critical role in early childhood development. Regardless of the source, cannabinoids work in conjunction with the body's endocannabinoid system, also known as the ECS. The ECS is a network of cannabinoid receptors found in the mammalian brain and abdominal organs. This system plays a key role in regulating many natural functions, including mood, sleep, and appetite. Present from even the earliest stages of fetal development, the ECS predominantly consists of endocannabinoid receptors located in both the central and peripheral nervous systems. CB1 receptors in the central nervous system combine with the brain's nerve cells to help regulate the body's biochemistry. Both endocannabinoids and phytocannabinoids bind to these receptor points to control the passage of proteins between cells. CB2 receptors in the peripheral nervous system are mostly found on white blood cells, in the tonsils, and in the spleen. Cannabinoids that bind to these sites help modulate the immune system response to disease and injury. Research has shown that cannabidiol has the potential to reduce inflammation and protect critical cells against oxidation. However, with a lack of cannabidiol in the food supply and the tendency for endogenous cannabinoids to degrade within the human body, most people are deficient in these important compounds. This absence of cannabinoids has led researchers to establish a condition known as clinical endocannabinoid deficiency syndrome. A diet rich in phytocannabinoids, such as high concentration hemp oils and hemp seeds, may offset this deficiency. The discovery of cannabinoids and the endocannabinoid system has forced the scientific community to rethink how many of our most debilitating diseases function and how to treat them. As it turns out, so many of us are deficient in this fundamental substance that plays a key role in keeping our bodies balanced and healthy. These receptors are an intrinsic part of who we are, leading us to ask, are we starved of cannabinoids?
So that brings me to the problem that we have now. And back in bringing it back to history, most medications, 90% of medications were hemp-based, were plant-based, were supplement-based. Now, 90% of medications, or pretty much all medications, are petroleum-based. And that's what we're putting into our bodies, and that's why we're becoming toxic. That's why I was toxic 3 years ago, and I almost passed away, and I sustained, liver damage, kidney damage, and I lost my gallbladder. So just to bring it a little more into the endogenous cannabinoid system, what it is and what it does, I'm going to throw it to Sheila.
Before we get to Sheila, I think it's very important to note that, you guys, petroleum, breaking it down, petroleum is oil. So it would be like you going up to a Shell gas station and being like, I'm going to take some shots of oil,
Yeah.
And that currently, the third leading cause of death after heart disease and cancer is medications, is prescription medications. And the reason for that is because it is so toxic that it is causing a whole bunch of side effects, just like Bianca mentioned. So it is very important to understand. So Sheila, let's take it away from what you were going to say next.
Okay. So as Bianca was saying, we have something in our bodies known as the endocannabinoid system. This system was discovered in the 1990s. So it wasn't around when I was going to school. That's why I never heard of it. They're only starting to teach it to medical students now. So it's called ECS for short. And what it does is it's our body's largest self-regulatory system. So it monitors our mood, our hormone production, our digestion, our sleep, our appetite, everything like that. So we have cannabinoid receptor sites in our body in this endocannabinoid system. So there's CB1 receptors in our brain, and there's CB2 receptors in our gut, which regulates our immune system. The only way to feed the system is to ingest a hemp-based product that's high in CBD. So when you ingest this product into your system, it brings your body back to a state of homeostasis. So it's important to note, I get questions all the time, will CBD help with this? Will it help with that? It's not necessarily ailment specific. What it does is you take it, since it's from Mother Nature, your body knows what to do with it, and it will target that specific area where you're weak in. And then it will go to the next area and the next area until your body's restored to that state of balance.
So it's kind of like 11 systems in our body, right? So this is how I like to look at it, like visually, right? Like you go to a soccer game, and I was a professional soccer player. There's 11 players in the field, right? It's almost like you have a bonus 12th player, right? It's kind of like that. Like it's almost like this, whoa, we discovered a new planet, like the CBD, like inventing CBD, right?
Yeah.
It's the missing link. And that's what they call the nectar of the gods. It's like, oh, we discovered a new planet. And this planet is a thing that it's kind of like the sun. I mean, I think about CBD kind of like the sun. Yeah. It's like, it turns things on. We get 2/3 of our energy from the sun, and it's like it just activates stuff. It's like an activator, right? It's like an activator, so it can become a transformer.
Right.
Cool. I love that. I love how do we blanket all of these things? So imagine having 15 supplements in your cabinet and having to take 15 supplements and going, okay, at what point? And Sheila, we've had this discussion, and I'm like, I totally get it. Like, I need to know how to do this as a practitioner. I need to know how to help my clients not take 15 supplements and consolidate a lot of this down. And CBD is, what I love about it is that it is without getting high, you guys. Like this is you will not get high. You won't feel that like, oh, it's going to take me out of my day. You're not going to get paralyzed. You won't get like these hallucinations. Totally different. but it will calm your body on the inside. And that's called parasympathetic. So like the main sources of stress today are toxins, which are chemicals or viruses or bacteria or fungus or this damn flu that like people are dying from like crazy, right? Like I know people who have corporations and they've lost like 25% of their workforce who's out of work. Like imagine the like literally your efficiency of your corporation. If your immune system is shot, the efficiency of your corporation, that's a lot of profit loss. So we need to really look out for the immune system, and that's what CBD does. So that's toxins, toxicity in the form of pathogens, like these bugs that are taking us out because our immune system is not strong enough. So build your immune system, right? Instead of going in and killing all the bugs with antibiotics, you just kill the bug. And so we can't like prescribe medications or say, take this instead of this. Obviously, talk to your doctor. But if we boost and build and bolster, then there isn't a need to take all these pills for every ill things because things all of a sudden start working better. So if we can, so toxicity, toxic thoughts, like negative thinking, our moods are all jacked up because we're inflamed. And then of course, the other things that are taking us out today is our schedule, a crazy busy schedule. So toxins, toxic thoughts, pathogens, and then this crazy busy lifestyle or all the things that are taking us down. So the bolster is to get to the root of all of this, which helps to bring it all together. We're all living in this state of sympathetic, which is like, I need more coffee. That is your sympathetic nervous system. And it is always on. So this is people who can't sleep. They're like, I can't sleep because that is always on. Something's always happening. It's always on. It's always on. But CBD and anything parasympathetic, like deep breathing and yoga combined with CBD, like I said, doing upside down stuff, it brings you into what's called parasympathetic. Now I can breathe. Now I can digest my food. Now I could be present with people because my mood is stable and I'm not all over the place anymore. And I could sleep and I can sex and I can grow hair and skin, beautiful skin. So let's talk about that a little bit more, Bianca, because I know you had more to say about that kind of parasympathetic and what CBD does for us.
I mean, I'm nodding as you talk because I'm like, yes, that is me. That was me 3 years ago. And just speaking on the supplements. So like I said, I went from 8 to 10 prescription medications. And then when I decided to go holistic, I went to 22 supplements. So I went from 8 to 10 to 22. And it was just like, it was insane. And I'm like, I got to treat this. I got to take turmeric. I got to take white willow bark. I got to take saw palmetto. I got to take oil of oregano. And my cabinets and the money. Let me tell you what I did.
How much were you spending? Well, how much were you spending before?
Do I want to tally it? I don't really. Thousands. Thousands.
A month? A month.
Well, no, about 1,000. Yeah, on supplements.
I would not be if you were on. When I look at my average client, there's when I got to this point where I was like, okay, as a practitioner, I'm seeing in all these different forums where they're all being trained to take B and Primrose, and then there's like a long list. When I got trained as an LPN, I was looking at this. Here's what they recommend. This was like 5 years ago. I'm looking at this list, and you guys, the average client that we were taught to train to take as far as supplements, at least 12 every day. And people are going, I don't want to pop these pills. And the first order was at least $400 to $500, the first order. And that would carry them for 1 month, $500. So the natural side is $500. And like what Sheila said, what she was recommended by her doctor as a prescription was $10,000. So how much we're going to bankrupt our bank accounts and bankrupt our bodies. So instead, let's start consolidating and just getting to the root. And let's talk about that now, Bianca, because I wanted to make sure I was clear on that, because it is absolutely what I see as a practitioner. I'm like, people can't do this anymore.
And what am I on now? I'm on CBD. That's it. One of my capsules, right under my tongue. That's it. 50 milligrams. That's all I need. That's all I take. Done. And I lost. We're done with the webinar. We're done. I mean, we're done. I lost 25 pounds. I got rid of my eczema, my psoriasis, my IBS, my leaky gut, my anxiety, my depression, PTSD. I was agoraphobic for 1.5 years. Yes, I didn't leave my house. I was crazy. And now,
you're still crazy, girl.
My life back.
You're still crazy.
I'm a crazy pirate. I'm a crazy pirate.
You have no leg. You have no gallbladder.
Well, I have a leg. I have a bionic leg. It's awesome.
So let's talk about what we can do here, because we're consolidating things, right? We're making things easier on people. I myself, I have a program. It's an 8-week transformational program, which teaches, CBD is one of the tools. What I'm trying to encompass is mind, body, spirit. So we pull all of it together. So CBD is one of those things in terms of the products that I recommend. But of course, you got to have your mindset. Of course, you got to have your organizational and your systems. That's something separate. So that's my hormone transformational program. You guys can click on my website, dianekazer.com, and you can see that there, hormonal breakthrough. Click on that, and then you can schedule a time to talk with me. This is one of the solutions I have in there. If you guys are like, I took CBD, but I want more, or I want my mindset, I want my, my spouse, my dream life, we'll bring it all together. So like CBD is absolutely like one of my favorite supplements now. But of course we got to bring it all together. So it's not going to like all of a sudden you're going to have a new career. All of a sudden you're going to have a new job. Right. So obviously we are, as practitioners, we are very skilled at what we do. So if you need more hand holding and arm holding and support, then check out my program. But for CBD, here's what I want you guys to do and to try. If you're like in this space right now, because everybody is on a continuum, right? We're all in a different continuum. If you're like, oh, I just want to like take some pain. I want to switch from Motrin and Advil and like, or worst case, Percocet and like Vicodin and hydrocodone. I want to try, I want to see if this helps better. Or like I'm a post-cancer patient and I don't have like appetite anymore. Or like I want to lose weight. If you guys are in that space of trying a healthier alternative, or if you're in the space of, I'll just transform my whole life, there's two different things. There's two different continuums. So this is the one where I want to talk about some product offerings that you guys can start doing to try to switch, see how better you feel. If you're like, I want a whole life transformation, do the other thing. Go on my website, click on that, we'll talk. But for the people who are on the continuum of products, okay, I want to try better products. Let's talk about that now, Bianca, because there's two different packages, one of which I got myself, and then the other one, I know there's different strokes for different folks. So let's talk about those now.
Okay, so first package we have, and like we were talking about budget, right? How, first right out of the gate, you're spending $500. Okay, well, and everybody says, oh, CBD is expensive. Actually, no, it's not. We have something wonderful for you. I'm like a CBD waitress right here. So we have
on a silver platter,
on a silver platter and everything. So we have our pure. This is called our Pure Value Pack. Value. This bottle. This is pure CBD. You are getting 33.3 milligrams a serving, and it's suspended in MCT oil. And everybody knows how amazing MCT oil is. So, and then you're also getting the pure CBD capsules. And so a recommended serving size. Yes. So a recommended serving size that we recommend people to start at is 50 milligrams. So with this value pack, see, you got a capsule. I travel, I throw it in my bag. I travel with these. So with this value pack, you're getting your 50 milligrams a day, and we're also including some essential oils in our value pack as well. And these are very different. They have our Bee-Bong herbal blend and terpenes that are found in the cannabis plant. So if you were to purchase all these products separately, total cost would be, like we said, $404, typical for, introduction to supplements. This pack right now is $218. So $404 retail value. You can get this for $218. You're getting all the CBD that you need, 50 milligrams in this pack right now. Then did you want
to get into so that lasts a month? So how long does that on average?
This is a month. So basically what I recommend to people is start your day with a 25 milligram capsule. Okay, I keep this by my bedside, and I even have it in a dropper, actually, so I can measure it out. And I do 3/4 of a teaspoon before bed. This is amazing for detoxification. It will help you sleep, calm your nervous system down, and you're getting, AM and PM 50 milligrams.
Yeah, here's a little pill container that I take with me wherever I go, you guys. So I always have my CBD pills in here and the activated charcoal and the stuff that when you guys are in my program, you'll learn what to carry with you. But it's always have this in my purse, just in case. This is how small it is. And you don't have to carry your oil because it may break or something.
Mm-hmm. One thing I also wanted to mention, and that's unique to this company, is that this is pure CBD isolate. So what does that mean? If you get drug tested, if you're a medical professional and a professional athlete, this is absolutely THC free. This is the only product on the line, CBD product on the line, that you will absolutely pass a drug test. It follows the World Anti-Doping Agency, standards. So this is pure CBD isolate. In case, I have a lot of, nurses and doctors that get drug tested and they take that product. Then we have our other value pack, and this is a full spectrum pack. Now, full spectrum means that you're getting all the cannabinoids in the hemp plant. So not only CBD, you're getting CBN, CBA. There's over 100 different cannabinoids. So, and like I like to equate it to a CBD isolate product, and a full spectrum product would be like saying, I need to incorporate more vitamin C in my diet. You can either take a vitamin C capsule or you can eat an orange. So that's kind of like the difference here. So in this pack, and this is a pack that I recommend to people who are, having sleep issues, energy issues, vitality. These products are basically our tinctures. Yes. Yeah. We have an AM tincture and a PM tincture. They take them together. You're going to get a total of 26.6 milligrams of CBD. We also have our B-Bong herbal formulation, a blend of herbs in here to the PM detoxifies, helps you sleep. The AM also gives you energy. And then it comes with our full spectrum capsules. And these capsules are my absolute favorite because if you're dealing with inflammation, like I am massively, osteoarthritis, they also have turmeric and white willow bark. And like we were saying, you want to consolidate, right? So I love my turmeric. I don't want to have to take another pill. I take my full spectrum capsules. So in this pack right here, you're also getting your daily serving of 50 milligrams. And if you were to buy all these products separately, it would be $365. You can get this pack for $218. And it also comes with energy chews, which are CBD, vitamin A, and 100 milligrams of caffeine. So those are our two packs. We have our full spectrum pack, and we have our pure value pack. So there you go.
Well, thank you, Bianca.
You're welcome.
That was a very You're welcome. Here's my breakdown of it. My breakdown of it is the first one, which is like pure CBD. It's just straight pure. There's no additives or extra things. So a lot of us right now, because there's so much information in the body, and because that our body, our nervous system is in this state of sympathetic dominance. It's like everything is like super stressed out. And so if we're super, super stressed out, then our body cannot absorb like any nutrients or any vitamins. It's like everything gets rejected. So if you're that kind of person, and if you have like, if you respond to a lot of stuff, then this is probably the one for you because it's more pure. You're not going to have like a whole bunch of, the other one has a lot of other ingredients and nutrients and things like that. And your body may reject that. So if you're like someone who's super sensitive, take that first pack. The second pack has a lot of other amazing things. But if you're already super sensitive to a lot of ingredients, then your body may reject like all these other 10 things. Okay, you guys, so you know that there's like 5 things I look for whenever I'm deciding what product I recommend to all of my people. So Bianca, I know all of these 5 things met my criteria with Canaway. Can you please describe why?
Yeah, so quality, we were the first company to come out with a CBD hemp product on the market. So we created the standard, we created the space. Also, we are the cheapest CBD per milligram when you compare, the amount that you're getting in our product to the price. I know there's a lot of CBD products out there, and you really have to be educated because you'll see 250 milligrams on the bottle. You divide that by 30 servings, you're really getting less than 10 milligrams a serving. And if you're spending $50, $70 on that bottle, you can get our bottle, that has much more than that for, a little over $100. Also, in terms of quality, one thing to know about hemp, it is a bioaccumulator. So what that means, it will pull up heavy metals and toxins from the soil. So it's really, really important to make sure that you get a CBD product with a lab test. And our company triple processes the oil. So we process it, first time when we have it imported from Europe, when it arrives in the States, and before packaging. So we are assuring that you're getting the finest, highest quality CBD oil with no toxins, no heavy metals, no pesticides, non-GMO, all the good stuff.
So we talked about affordability, we talked about quality, efficient, it's super efficient, you put it on your tongue, it's sublingual, it doesn't have a whole bunch of other like magnesium stearates and all kinds of other things that inhibit the absorption. So it's super clean. Convenience. You guys, we already showed you could take your pills anywhere, the sprays, the chews, super convenient to take traveling with you. And you could travel internationally with CBD, right? Like I took this, I'm in Costa Rica filming this right now. I took my whole CBD oil bottle container. So you could take it traveling with you. It's not like you're carrying things. No dog's going to come sniff you and like bite your butt off. And then accessibility, like you can, you could buy this stuff from anywhere around the world, right? Like which countries are we not in, I guess is a better question.
Yeah, so we're federally legal in 50 states in Puerto Rico, Hawaii, Alaska. And then we just expanded into 22 countries in the European Union.
Awesome. So if you guys are wondering, is it accessible in my country? Even if it's not, we may be able to get it to you as long as like the borders are okay. So this is the point where you guys get to make a decision. Do I keep taking my 15 plus supplements at the cost of $500 a month and feel like somewhat better? Or in my case, I love taking supplements. I'm okay with it, but most people are like, that's way too many pills to swallow and it's too inconvenient. So evaluate this. How much longer am I willing to tolerate this life of spending $500 plus in supplements? Or if you're not spending money on supplements, but you don't feel well, but you don't want to take a lot of supplements, then are you ready for this? Are you ready for major change? How much longer can I afford my body and my pocketbook to take this many medications if that's the thing? The average human in America is operating at 30% of their optimal. We want to get you at least up over 50%, and CBD oil can probably help you get there. So if you want to learn more about this, guys, the time is now. You're not messing around anymore. Insurance is not going to cover this stuff in the future. Insurance is not going to cover a lot of these things. So we got to start taking care of ourselves. You are the only person that can transform yourself from the inside out. So we're so looking forward to talking with you. Bianca, last question. Can this be used on pets and kids? Or other
absolutely. Any mammal or every mammal has an endogenous cannabinoid system. And if they have that system, it needs to be fed cannabinoids. So I actually give it to my dog. Absolutely.
So here's the thing. Dogs dying of cancer, dogs having seizures, dogs getting Addison's disease. You guys, these bills are not cheap. I know people who are spending $3,000 just to go see their doctor, their veterinarian. What's wrong with my dog? They're having these problems. Oh, they have Addison's. Oh, they're on a medication or an injection for life. We can't afford this anymore, you guys. So if you're curious about this, if you want to have confidence again, and if you want to start cutting costs, but really building your health doing it, because this is not a cheap process. This is an investment in your health, meaning this is not cheap as in like, oh, I'm looking for a cheap. No, that typically means that there's awful ingredients. So it's cost effective, not cheap. These are all of the things that you can have, and we want to help you guys build this. Give us 90 days and watch the difference in your life. So let's tune out Princess Pirate, UTI Unicorn, and Autoimmune Disease Angel. You guys, thank you so much for A, being patient with my Wi-Fi in Costa Rica, and B, for just being awesome warriors and sharing your transformational. So let's end it with a humble moment. I can't believe I just said that. Well, what are the 3 things that you love about CBD to talk about in this presentation, Bianca, that you're like, yeah, behind closed doors, this is what CBD did for me?
You want me to talk about it, don't you? All right. Well, I'll tell you, it's improved my sex life. I'll tell you that. It's made me, I no longer need a lubricant anymore. I'm juicy. And I have to say, my skin is like, people have said to me, like, have you gotten Botox? And I'm like, no, but thank you. So my skin and really just my general mood. Like I used to wake up miserable and just like, oh, I can't believe I have to get through this day. I wake up like, let's go. What are we going to do today? So absolutely. Those 3 things, right? Sex, mood, and beauty.
Life, love making, and laughter.
Yes.
Booty, beauty, and body. Sheila, what about you?
So kind of what we touched on before, I was also the person that had like 40 different supplements in the medicine cabinet. I have to say that I'm probably down to about 4 now. I just find like I don't need them anymore. I feel great on the CBD. The other thing is also my skin. I've had people comment as well, like, what have you done to your skin? The only thing I've changed is incorporated CBD into my diet. And then I'm not going to leave Bianca to be the only one to tell, something that's a little bit secretive, but I have actually put CBD into a vegetarian capsule and inserted it into my vagina, and it's helped with any burning that I've had that associated with like a UTI or something like that. So it can be used that way as well, which is great.
It's been spot on. I've been releasing a lot more, which means the more that we release, the less inflammation, the less fat, the less problems, the less mood issues. So less mood issues, the less pain in our tissues. You guys, those are authentic moments. It's not super easy for women to say these things, but these are things that we talk about when we're having tea or a glass of wine, and behind closed doors, we just really want this kind of support. So this is the kind of support that we're offering to you totally vulnerably, totally authentically. This is not the stuff that you should have to only talk to your doctor with a ton of shame and guilt and fear about. These are real life issues that so many women are experiencing today. So reach out to me, you guys. My name is Diane Kazer, DianeKazer.com. I'm the founder of, and of course, the creator of the Hormone Warrior Transformational Program. So if you want more than CBD, beyond CBD, I mean, this is a part of the whole trilogy, mind, body, spirit, and you deserve all of this and more. So if you're curious about this, DianeKazer.com, reach out to me there. And if you guys are curious, if you're watching this and you're Sheila's person or if you're Bianca's person, you know how to get a hold of them too. But for now, we will say the trilogy of these three female warriors. Thank you guys for listening, and thank your vagina for listening too, of course, because it will thank you later.
Bye.
And other parts. All right. Bye, you guys.